hi guys. I think I might start again. So, hi guys. I don't want to say start again.
Yes, let's start.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome to the Big Wave Digital YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk about the 5 golden nuggets of really nailing that interview through 23 years of being in recruitment, interviewing I would say thousands of candidates from all walks of life, from digital data and tech through to at all levels as well, from your junior sort of account executives, interns to senior executives, CTOs, GMs, CEOs, for all types of roles in digital data and tech across different geolocations as well. Okay, and before we get into these 5 key points, I'd love you to subscribe and like this video. And also we've got a secret bonus tip at the end. So watch the video and you'll get that bonus tip as well. Okay, so let's talk about the first point, which is research and preparation. What I mean by this is that you really need to go that extra step in your due diligence and your research. So, for example, if you're going for a role at, say, Universal Music, everyone knows that Universal Music is a record label and they've got a catalogue, that's the biggest in the world and so forth. That's a given. But what you should really learn through your research and preparation is that, a few key things that perhaps not everyone does know. For example, Tencent has a equity stake in Universal Music, which is the largest capital business on the planet, and also that data has become a really big point for Universal Music, and so bringing that objectivity to subjectivity around music. So don't just take that surface level look at what the business is doing. You could even go and look at financial reports. You could look at stock market charts. You could look at what people are writing on Google or elsewhere. I think that'll really help you stand out as someone that cares, but also is focused on this role. So that's the first one. Okay, the second point is, and this goes without saying, but never be late. And I mean that for an online interview or a in-person interview, face-to-face. You never be late, because if you are late, and I've seen it happen on rare occasions, but you're already behind in the interview, and it's a competitive landscape for the jobs that you're going in digital data and tech. Don't be late. And it sounds weird, but I actually think 3 minutes before you're meant to be there is the ideal perfect time. You're not too early and you're definitely not late. 3 minutes is what I'd suggest. So don't be late. Okay, so now we've got the third point, which I think is really relevant for nailing that job interview. And that's, again, depth of knowledge of actually the company that you're interviewing at. So it's not to look at their values and say, oh, my values are exactly your values. It's more about just sort of understanding what they do. That research, which comes back to point number 1, research and preparation, but this is about, what do you know about their business? That matters. And you don't want to brush over that. You want to have detail and you want to be authentic in terms of what you know. You don't know everything about their business, of course you don't, but if it is a role for a large e-commerce business that is looking at ramping up their social media presence, then it's relating that back to that point of their business and yourself. That's what this is. It's about actually both sides interviewing each other to work out if it's a fit. But okay, we come to the 4th critical tip to nailing that job interview, and that's being prepared to answer the question, why do you want to work here? That's really important. It's a simple question, but have a think about why you genuinely want to work at a place, because you may not. You might go to an interview and go, actually this is perhaps not what I want to do. But if it is, it's about being authentic and really thinking about through your research. You perhaps looked at some Google reviews or some testimonials or whatever it is, and you see, or perhaps on Instagram or whatever the social media platform is, you can actually see this looks like a fun, a cool and supportive place to work. So it's about really articulating from an analytical point of view why you think you want to work there, but also perhaps touching on the emotional side in that it looks like it's got a great culture, and you get a general feeling just in the interview you're having with the person interviewing you why you want to work there. Be prepared for that question. Okay, Okay, so the fifth and probably most important tip is to read the room. So what I mean by that is to really be, socially and emotionally aware, in that it's not about you just talking the whole time, it's about you reading the room. So if you ask a question, perhaps it's an in-depth question, then you start on that and you cover a few things, but then perhaps you pause and you say, do you want me to go on, or is that enough? So you don't just talk for 5 minutes if you're asked a question. You want to be able to just assess the room. And what I mean by that is that focus is really important. So you don't want to be waffling on when asked a question. You want to be really succinct, targeted, and efficient with your communication, because that reflects well on you, in that people are going to think, oh, okay, so they've structured their response to that question really well. That's perhaps how they work, as opposed to someone who's all over the place and sort of goes off on tangents and isn't focusing on the question at hand. So, that's about reading the room. And I would suggest that in an interview, you probably want to listen more than you talk. So just remember that, and go get that job you want. So that's the 5 key golden nuggets to nailing the job interview. As I said, I'm going to throw in a bonus tip, and to me that's to leave an impression, a positive impression at the end of the interview. And one way you could do that is by really sort of going above and beyond in preparation for the interview. And you could even leave like a plan, a one-page document of actually what you're going to do in this, if you're given this role in the first 30 days, the first 3 months, and the first 6 months. That'll blow them out of the water, because I think who does that? Who goes that extra step to actually really sort of put your mind into doing this role? So leave a really positive and actual, if it is face-to-face, a tactile impression to the client, and that'll really, really put you in the right position to getting that dream job. So good luck.